And from today we are going to start new chapter, that is analysis of arches, which is in this chapter we are going to see analysis of determinate arches. Okay, there are several types of arches: two hinge arches, three hinge arches, then fixed arches. Out of that we will be seeing only determinate arches. And so content of today's lecture are: first we will be seeing topic learning outcome of this second topic, then lecture outcomes of this current lecture, then we will see introduction to arches, then types of arches, then introduction to analysis of three hinge arches, and with the summary we will close this lecture. So without further delay, topic learning outcome of this second chapter. So after completion of this topic number 2, you will be able to explain different types of arches. What are the types available for arches depending upon various classification, maybe material, maybe geometry, maybe level of support, like that. Then second is determine support reaction of arches. Of course, if arch is a structural member, so you must know how to calculate its support reaction. Then third, analyze arches for horizontal thrust, radial shear, normal shear. These are some technical terms: horizontal thrust, radial shear, and normal shear. In due course of time, as we progress, we will be able to know what are the meaning of this term, that is horizontal thrust, radial shear, and normal shear. So you will be able to analyze these three components of arches. And lastly, construct bending moment diagram of arches. Okay, so as I have told earlier that arch is a structural member, so it will undergo some kind of a reactions and which will result in bending moment. So you will be also able to construct or draw bending moment diagram for arch structure. Next is lecture outcome of today's lecture. You will be able to explain different types of arches, and next is calculate support reaction of three hinge arches. Okay, very basic part today we are going to cover. So let us begin. So first is what is arch. Okay, so you might have seen up till now a horizontal member which we generally call as a beam member, and a vertical member which we generally call as a column member. Okay, so arch is nothing but a curvilinear member or a curved member which is provided in a structure. Okay, so in elevation the arch is normally curved in nature. So that curved may be a parabolic curve, maybe a circular curve, or maybe a semicircular curve. So there is one example of, or I have shown with the picture, the how arch structure looks like. So in this you can see there is a river, and on the both banks of river the bridge is supported by a arch. Okay, so arch structure generally look like this. Next, why arch when we have beams? Okay, so generally arch in a structure replaces your beam members. Okay, so why to provide arch when we have a beam structure? So for that, answer is, we will the arch is having some advantages over the beam. Okay, so we will see one by one. So suitable for large span and heavy loading. Okay, so the span between two supports is very large. Then if you are going to provide a beam, generally if large spans are there, then those are known as a girders. Then whatever load comings, for that sizing of beam will be very large. So to avoid that, the arches are suitable for large span and heavy loading. Then next, development of horizontal thrust. So in beam problem, you might have seen that only reactions are vertical. When vertical loading is acting, reaction at the supports of the beam are only vertical. But in case of a arch, even though loading is vertical, there will be development of a horizontal reaction at the support. Okay, and that is known as a horizontal thrust. So how that reaction is going to develop, we are going to see in due course of time. So development of horizontal thrust is advantageous feature over a beam for a arch. Then there are three main internal forces produced in arch. First one is axial compression, then second one is shear force and bending moment. In beam also you have seen that development of shear force and bending moment, but this axial compression is added some advantages to arch. Due to this axial compression, there is significant reduction in shear force and bending moment of arch. and because of which the sizes required for any member will be less as compared to beam. So if you see a particular span, so let us take an example of 10-meter span. For that, whatever size of beam is there, definitely if you provide instead of beam there are, if you provide arch instead of beam, then whatever member size required for that arch will be less, and ultimately if the member size is less, then it is going to be economical one. Okay, and lastly, if you compare side by side arch and beam structure, so arch structure will look more aesthetically pleasant than the beam structure. So these are some advantages of arches over beam. So these are some, I have taken some examples of arch structure. This is new river gorge bridge. So entire river valley is connected with the arch, and on that arch, loading is applied in form of a bridge. Okay. Then, if you are interested in football, uh, you might have seen on the television one of the best stadium for football is Wembley Stadium in London. So it is known as the home of the football. So roof of that football stadium is supported by a arch like this. Okay. Then next is Arch of Constantine. If you are interested in history, this Arch of Constantine is constructed to celebrate a victory of great Emperor Constantine. Then next, as far as the India is concerned, the Gate of India, which is situated in Mumbai. So all the three entry gates are made up of the arch structure. And coming to our local structure, if you are from Sangli, then the palace entry gate in Rajwada is also nothing but a arch structure. Okay, so these are the some example of arch structure. So next is types of arches. Okay, so before going to see types of arches, we will see classification of arches. There are generally three classification of arches, out of which we are interested only with the third classification, that is structural configuration. But just for information, depending upon material used for construction, the arches are divided into four category, that is steel, then concrete, then timber, or RCC, that is reinforced cement concrete. In nowadays, recently, there are some composite materials also used for arches. Okay, then next, depending upon the shape, this is also very important for us. Depending upon shape, the arches are generally parabolic arch or a circular arch. That means profile of arch will be parabolic or profile of arch will be circular. And third one is depending upon structural configuration, which we are interested in. That is three hinged arch, then two hinged arch, and fixed arch. So these are some classification of arches. Okay, so after this, the classification which is most concerned to ours is structure depending upon structural configuration. So these are the three example of arches. First one is two hinged arch, next one is three hinged arch, and third one is fixed arch. Okay, out of these three, our focus in this particular course is only about second one, that is three hinged arch, because this particular arch is determinate one, and other two arch, that is two hinged arch and fixed arch, these are indeterminate arch. What is determination and indetermination, that is not of our scope right now, but shortly I will explain that what is determination, what is indeterminacy. So out of these two, first two hinge arch and fixed arch, these are indeterminate one right now, remember only this. And central one, that is second three hinged arch, is a determinate one. Okay, so our focus or our scope in this particular course is only limited to this three hinged arch. Okay, so these images are taken from a book of structural analysis by Felix Udoyo, okay, which is published in 2020 by North Broad Press. This book is also available in ebook form. I will share the link with you. Okay, so three hinge arch. Let us begin with the three hinge arch. So first one, three hinged arch is a determinate one. Okay, so these are some silent features of three hinged arch. First one, it is a determinate one. Then so now, in short, I will discuss what is the meaning of this determinate one and indeterminate one. So generally, we will draw one beam in which one support is hinged one and another support is roller 1. Okay, so in this beam, if you see, then total number of reactions are at hinge support there are 2 reactions, at roller support there is 1 reaction. So total number of reaction if we take by R, so it is going to be 3, and available equilibrium equation, that is we will denote by E. So those are 3. Which are those? These 3 equations. First, summation of Fx is equal to 0, then summation of Fy is equal to 0, and third, summation of moment is equal to 0. Okay, so these 3 basic statical equilibrium equations, or in other words, recently I have read that it is also known as the Newtonian conditions of equilibrium. Okay, summation Fx0, summation Fy0, and summation moment 0, we are having these 3 equilibrium conditions. So for structure, any structure, if you calculate degree of static indeterminacy, which we will denote by di, so it is generally denoted by R minus E. So total number of unknown reactions are 3 and E is equal to 3. So this is going to be 0. So if your degree of indeterminacy is equal to 0, then you can say that your structure is determinate one. Okay. So likewise for any structure, and I am only talking about beam and portal frames. These formulas for truss are different only if we consider beam and portal frame or arches. Then degree of if your degree of indeterminacy is equal to 0, then your structures are determinate structure. Okay, so if you again take example of a cantilever beam. Okay, so on cantilever beam generally there is one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one moment. So in this case if you calculate R is equal to now going to 3, equilibrium equations are 3, and di again if you see, so it is going to be R minus E, which is equal to again 0. Now let us consider a case of a fixed beam. Okay, a beam which is supported on both sides by fixed support. So one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one moment at one support, and at other support also one vertical moment, one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one moment. Okay, so if you now write down here R is equal to 6, but our equilibrium equations are not going to increase, those are going to remain 3 only. Okay, so di is generally given by R minus E. Okay, so here 6 minus 3, that is 3. So our value of degree of indeterminacy in this case is 3. That means this structure is not determinate, this structure is indeterminate. Means what is the meaning of if this structure is indeterminate? If you see these examples, this simply supported beam and this cantilever beam, we can analyze these two beams by using only these 3 conditions of static equilibrium, that is summation Fx0, summation Fy0, and summation of moment is equal to 0. Here also that case is same, but whenever your structure is becoming indeterminate, that means whenever this di value is going to be greater than 0, then we cannot analyze this structure by using these 3 conditions of equilibrium. So we are calling this structure as indeterminate structure. Okay, so now this is a very small introduction about determinate and indeterminate structure. So now let us take example of arches here. So first we will take one example of only 2 hinge arch. This is only 2 hinge arch, that means both the supports are having hinge type. So here at one support there will be one vertical reaction and one horizontal reaction. At other support there will be one vertical reaction and one horizontal reaction. Okay, so here R is going to be 4 now. E is not going to change. What is di is going to be 1. Okay, so degree of indeterminacy is going to be 1. So if your degree of indeterminacy is greater than 0, then your structure is going to be indeterminate one. Okay, that means we cannot analyze the structure by using conditions of static equilibrium, that is summation Fx0, summation Fy0, and summation moment is equal to 0. Okay, so this is first example. Now let us take second example. Let us now assume this arch is fixed at both. At each support there will be one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one moment. Similarly at this support also. So total number of R in this case is 6. So Di is going to be 6 minus 3, that is 3. So fixed arch is also indeterminate structure. Okay. Now let us take one example here. A two hinge arch, okay, which is supported by hinge support on both the supports, and in addition to this, at the crown one internal hinge is provided. So this is known as internal hinge. Okay, so what is the property of this internal hinge? So at internal hinge, summation of moment is equal to 0. Okay, so in addition to we are having summation of moment at internal hinge is equal to 0. So initially we are having three equilibrium condition, that is summation of fx is equal to 0. Okay, then second summation of moments is equal to 0. So these summation of moments are at the supports only. Okay, and third we are having summation of fy is equal to 0. Now here I will indicate this summation of moment is at support is equal to 0. Okay, and this particular summation of moment, whichever I have written down here, this moment, this is at hinge is equal to 0. We are having three conditions, that is summation fx0, summation m0, summation fy0, and in addition to that we are again having one extra condition of equilibrium, that is summation of moment is equal to 0 at internal hinge. So now in case of three hinge parabolic arch, now my E will be 4. Okay, are you getting this? Now my E will, in case of three hinge parabolic arch, is equal to 4, and R, if I see here, R is not going to change. So there will be one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction at each of the support. So R is not going to change. So my degree of indeterminacy in case of three hinge parabolic arch, now it is equal to R minus E. So it is going to be 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, and remember this 4, how this is 4, this particular value, because three conditions of static equilibrium plus due to internal hinge there will be one extra additional condition, that is summation of moment is equal to 0. So due to presence of this internal hinge, three hinge parabolic arch is a determinate structure. Okay, so let us begin with this problem. So problem is such that find out support reaction at the support of three hinge parabolic arch as shown in figure. So if you see this particular arch A, B, C, D, E. So there are two supports A and E present, okay, which are separated by in elevation by 15 meters. That means there is a support difference of 15 meter, okay, and span of arch is 25 meter. Okay, so before going to see this problem, we will see some components or some norm. Okay, so these are three basic terms. First, span of arch, that means horizontal distance between two supports is known as the span of arch. Then crown of arch, that is top point of a top point on the curvature is known as the crown of arch, and vertical distance between support and crown is known as a rise of a arch. So span A, B, C, D is given. Support A is hinged one, support E is also hinged one, where C is internal hinge provided at the crown. Okay, then rise of arch is from lowest support, that is from support E up to point C, distance is 30 meter, whereas span of arch is 45 meter. Okay, so I will draw this arch once again, support A and support E. As these are hinge support, there will be only two reactions, one vertical reaction and one horizontal reaction. Let us denote this vertical reaction by RA and horizontal reaction by HA. And at this support, again one vertical reaction, that means at support E, one vertical reaction and one horizontal reaction. This we will name as RE and HE. So we have to find out these four quantities here. First is HA, RA, RE and HE. So these four quantities we have to find out right now. So for that we are going to use our usual conditions of equilibrium. Okay, so now for vertical forces, remember arch is nothing but just like a beam. Okay, so that means for this particular vertical forces, that means RA and RE, so equivalent to for this particular arch will be a beam like this. Okay, so to find out this vertical reaction, this much data is only sufficient. Okay, so equivalent of this particular arch is, we can say that this beam is also equivalent to this given arch. Okay, and in addition to that, here one hinge is provided which is at a distance of 20 meter. Out reaction RE and reaction RA, we will take summation of moment about A is equal to 0. A and level of A and level of E is at different level, so HE will not pass through A. That means moment of HE should be considered while calculating moment at A. Okay, so here what we will do, so whenever we are taking moment about A, first moment of this 50 kilonewton load. Okay, so this 50 load into distance of 50 kilonewton load from support A, it is 5 meters. Okay, so 50 into 5, that will be clockwise, which is shown here. Then this load of 35 kilonewton, that will also act in clockwise direction. So plus 35 into total distance of total truss is of 45 meter, and 35 is acting at a distance of 5 meter from support E. So 35 into 40, okay, so that will be second. Now third, this RE into 45. Okay, this reaction RE into 45, that will act in anti-clockwise direction. So that's why we have to write down here negative. So minus RE into 45. Okay, and finally this HE will act about in clockwise direction about A. Okay, this moment of HE should be added while taking summation of moment about A. Okay, so that HE plus HE into distance between this E support and A support, it is aparted by 15 meter. So plus HE into 15 is equal to 0. Okay, so I will explain once again here. If you take summation of moment about A, then it will be 50 into 5 moment of the 50 kilonewton load, which will act in anti-clockwise direction, so it will be positive. Then 35 kilonewton load also will act in clockwise direction, so it is 35 into 40 minus RE into 45, which is reaction at E, which will act in anti-clockwise direction, that's why negative. And finally HE into 15, which will again act in clockwise direction, so it is positive, which is equal to 0. So if you simplify that, you are getting HE minus 3RE is equal to minus 110. Okay, after that we will apply summation of moment about C is equal to 0, because we are having this additional equilibrium condition at C is equal to 0. That means at internal hinge moment is equal to 0. Therefore if we apply that, you are going to get, so first that this load of 35 kilonewton will act in clockwise direction, so 35 into 20, that means distance between C to D, horizontal distance is 20, therefore 35 into 20 plus this HE into distance between C to E vertically, that is 30 again, and lastly minus RE into 25, which is equal to 0. So here if you solve this, you are getting HE minus 0.83 RE is equal to minus 23.33. So solve equation number 1 and equation number 2, you will get value of RE is equal to 40 kilonewton and value of HE is equal to 10 kilonewton. So in this arch we have found out value of two reactions, that means value of Re and value of He. So now if you apply equilibrium condition, that is summation of Fy is equal to 0, then you can get Ra value, and if you apply summation of Fx is equal to 0, then you will get Ha value. Okay, so that will give us Ha is equal to He, which is equal to again 10 kilonewton, and if apply summation of Fy is equal to 0, apply summation of Fy is equal to 0, then Ra plus Re is equal to 50 plus 35, so which will give us value of Ra is equal to going to be 45 kilonewton. So finally we are having these answers: Ha is equal to 10 kilonewton, Ra is equal to 45 kilonewton, Re is equal to 40 kilonewton, and He is equal to again 10 kilonewton. So here we have seen that for any kind of parabolic arch, at both the supports, horizontal reactions are going to be same. Okay, if you observe here, He and this Ha value, those are going to be same, because horizontal loads are not acting on any parabolic arch, only vertical loads are acting. But even then we can say that both horizontal reactions acting on the parabolic arch is same, irrespective of loading, whether it is symmetric or not symmetric, irrespective of your level of support. Okay, so this is end of first problem. So now let us take second example. So for this particular arch, it is asked to find out support reaction at support A and support B. So okay, so this type of arch is given. Remember, these both of the supports are at the same level, and rise of the arch is 12-meter. Okay, so whenever your supports of arches are at the same level, then that arch is always symmetric about y-axis in geometry. Okay, that means segment length AC is equal to, now here, segment length BC. In previous problem, if you have seen, segment lengths are different, but here segment lengths are same. So first of all, what we will do, we will show here first of all the reactions, all the reactions acting. So at A there will be Ra and Ha, and at B there will be Rb and Hb. Okay, so to finding out reaction, what we will take, what we first of all, to find out reaction, we will first of all take summation of moment about A is equal to 0. Now here this reaction Ha, Ra and Hb all are passing from support A. Okay, so we will directly get here value of Rb. How we are going to get that? So if you write down summation of moment about A is equal to 0, going to be this moment of 50 kilonewton load, which will act in clockwise direction. Next, there will be moment of this 4 kilonewton per meter UDL. Okay, so first of all, we have to convert this UDL into point load. So total acting distance of this UDL is 20 meter. So equivalent point load will act at the center of this 40 kilonewton, center of this 20 kilonewton. So this 20 divided by 2, it is going to be 10 meter from support C in horizontal way. So while writing down the summation of moment about A is equal to 0, we are having 150 into 8 plus this 4 into 20, that is 80 kilonewton, into this total distance of equivalent point load from support A will be now here 10 plus this 20, that is 30 meter, and minus Rb into 40. Okay, so if you apply summation of moment about A is equal to 0, so we are having 150 into 8 minus 4 into 20 into, here in detail I will write down, that is 20 plus 30, this is also going to be plus. Okay, 150 into 8 plus 4 into 20, that is equivalent point load of UDL, and again its distance from support A, so up to C distance is 10 meter, and remaining 20 meter divided by 2, So it is going to be 10, okay, minus RB into 40 is equal to now 0. Remember here HB we should not take because HB is passing through A. So after solving this, you will get RB is equal to, please solve, B is equal to 90 kilonewton. Okay, now value of RB is 90 kilonewton. So if you apply further, summation of Fy is equal to 0. So Ra plus Rb is going to be first load of 150 kilonewton plus that UDL, that is 4 into 20. So from this we are going to get Ra is equal to 140 kilonewton. Okay, so Rb and Ra now we have found out. Now only remaining values are Ha and Hb. So now to find out Ha and Hb, we will take summation of moment about C is equal to 0. So we will consider right part of that C. I will draw here again diagram of segment BC. Now if you take summation of moment about C is equal to 0, so you are going to get first this moment of 90 kilonewton which will act in anti-clockwise direction. So minus 90 into horizontal distance between this C and support B, it is 20 meters. So minus 90 into 20 plus HB into rise of truss is given as 12 meters. So plus HB into 12 plus this 4 into 20 into 10. That means this moment of UDL, it is going to be 0. So if you solve this, you are going to get HB is equal to 83.33. Now last part in this problem is you have to find out HA value. So for that, if you take summation of Fx is equal to 0, HA will be equal to HB. So finally you are going to get HA is also equal to 83.33 kilonewton. So these are your final answers. HA is equal to 83 kilonewton, HB is equal to 83 kilonewton, okay, and RB is equal to 90 kilonewton and RA is equal to 140 kilonewton. So these are your final answers for reactions for this particular arch given. So let us summarize this lecture. So what we have learned so far is introduction to arches and its feature, means how arch is advantageous over other type of structure. Then we have seen types of arches and to calculate how to calculate support reaction of arches. Okay, so this part today we have seen. With this we will close over this today's lecture. So thank you all of you.